Good morning, great tans. Welcome to All Is Well Academy. My name is Mr. Koli. This is Business Studies Grade 10. We are doing a topic under micro environment. So now you have three environments, three business environments. That is micro, market, and macro. So now micro, it deals with internal affairs of the business, and macro deals with external affairs of the business, and market also deals with external affairs of the business. Now, in micro environment, the business has full control over the components of micro environment. In market environment, the business has no control but can influence market environment. And then macro environment, the business has no control over macro environment. Now let's start with micro environment. What is micro and what is it that you need to understand under micro environment? Now, these are the things that you must keep in mind when we are doing this topic of microenvironment. You must be able to explain what is microenvironment. You must be able to discuss the various components of microenvironment. You must be able to define or identify what is a vision, what is a mission statement, what are goals and objectives from given scenarios. So they will give you a scenario on your exam, and then they will ask you, identify a vision or a mission statement from this scenario. You must be also able to discuss the purpose of organizational culture, and you must be able to explain uh, the organizational resources from given statements or scenarios. You must be able to describe the importance of the business organizational structure with specific to an organogram. Now you must be also able to explain the differences between leadership and management. Those are the things that you must be able to explain or able to know when you are doing this topic of micro environment. Now, what is micro and how to explain micro environment? Now, micro environment, it is an environment which a business operates, and it consists of a business itself. It is a decision-making environment because management, they make decisions that help the business achieve its goals. It is also referred to as immediate environment in which business operates, and it includes all the internal factors of the business. That is micro. We said it includes the internal affairs of the business. It is referred to as an immediate environment. It is the decision making environment. It helps the management make decisions on how to achieve the business goals. And um, the business has full control over the components of microenvironment. Now, let's proceed. Now, what are the components of microenvironment? Component number one is vision, mission, objectives, and goals or strategies. Uh, Component number two is organizational resources. Component number three, it's leadership and management. Component number four, it's business function. Component number five, it's organizational structure. Component number six, it's organizational culture. So now you need to know that, we have organizational culture, organizational resources, and organizational structure. Those are three different things. And we have business functions, we have leadership and management, we have the vision, the mission, and goals of the business. Now let's start with a vision. What is a vision? A vision, it refers to the statement that explains what a business aims to achieve. It is the answer to the question, where are we going from here? It sets out where the business needs to go to be successful, It is a dream of the business and what it wants to achieve in future. It gives a business a clear idea of what they want to achieve. It is the inspiring statement about what a business wants the future to look like. It explains what a business aims to achieve, taking into consideration its purpose. For example, your vision can be to provide job opportunities for the local community. So now, the vision as a component of microenvironment. What is vision? It is the statement that explains what a business wants to achieve. For example, you can say if you have a business, a salon business, that I want to be the best salon business and provide many job opportunities to the young youth that is growing in my community. That can be your vision. So your vision, it is something that keeps you going. It is something that you look up. Your business is something that you look up in the future. That I want my business to elevate poverty. I want my business to provide education. I want my business to provide job opportunities. I want my business to be able to provide experiences to the youth about how to start their businesses and so on and so on. So that is your vision. It is your drive, what drives your business in the future. Now, what is a mission statement? A mission statement is a statement that explains the reason for the business existence. It enables businesses to develop strategies to achieve their vision. The answer to the questions such as what businesses do to make a profit. That is a mission. It is the answer to what businesses actually do to make a profit. That is a vision statement. Oh, we want to work on daily basis. That is your mission. We want to work on daily basis and make sure that we provide the best customer service. That is your drive. That is how you will gain customers. That is how your business will be able to gain customers and make money. So you want to make sure that you provide the best customer service. That can be your mission statement. That you want to be the best business that provides the good customer service. That can be your mission statement. So it gives a clear direction on how a business intends to achieve its vision. How are you going to achieve the vision of eliminating poverty? Making sure that we stay in business every time and we offer the quality service in our customers. That is your mission statement. So a mission statement, it gives a direction, a clear direction on how a business intends to achieve its vision. It describes the purpose and activities and basic activities of the business. For example, to become a world-class communication company. To become a world-class communication company. That can be your mission statement. To become the top business or salon in Delft. That can be your mission statement. To become the top salon in Delft. A top salon in Delft that provides quality service. That can be your mission statement. So now let's go to goals. What are goals? Goals can be defined as long-term objectives of what the business wants to achieve. Goals break down the business objectives into specific and measurable statements. For example, increase profit margin by 50% in 2020. That can be your goal as a business. The goal of increasing profit margin by 50% in 2020. Goals, they give the business a sense of direction. So now what you must know is that goals, they are the long-term objectives of the business, of what the business wants to achieve. They have what we call a measurable statement because they have a year, a specific year, time where they want to attain some certain goal. Now let's go to objectives. Now, objectives are short-term tasks or steps to reach goals. It contains a deadline for achievement. It explains how the goals of the businesses will be reached. It explains the targets and strategies that will help the business fulfill its mission. The purpose of the business. For example, a business may have primary objectives of making a profit and a secondary objectives of social upliftment. That can be the goal or the objective of the business. So it explains the purpose of the business. That is objectives. So now let's go to strategy. Strategy, it outlines how the business will achieve its vision in line with its mission statement and objectives. It is a plan of action taken by top management to achieve their vision. Now let's go to organizational culture. Now we are done with vision, mission statement, goals, and objectives and strategy. Now I want you to know this, that when we are talking about vision, it means it is where the business wants to see itself in the future. That is the vision. It is a dream that the business wants to see itself in the future. It does not have a deadline time. That's the vision. So basically it is a dream that the business wants to see in future. Now, what is a mission statement? A mission statement, it explains how the business will attain its vision. It explains how the business will attain its vision. We said the example of vision, it can be a business wants to eliminate poverty. That is my vision. It wants to eliminate poverty and provide job opportunities. How are you going to do that? Then the mission statement will say by providing a quality service to customers and staying amongst the top salon businesses in my community. That is your mission statement. Now, we said under objectives. Objectives, they are the short-term goals. They are the short-term goals. And we said under goals, we have your long-term goals. They have a deadline, a specific deadline of what you want to see your business in the future. And objectives, they are short-term goals. So please know those things. Now let's go to the second micro component, micro environment component. That is organizational culture. What is organizational culture and the purpose of organizational culture in the business? Now, the organizational culture, it influences people's actions and attitudes. Organizational culture, it influences people's actions and attitudes. It is the culture that determines how things are done in the business. It is a personality of the business. It shares understanding of how things are done in the business. So organizational culture is how the things are done in the business. For example, Shoprite and Spar, they are not doing their daily operations in the same way. Shoprite has his own routine and Spar has its own routine of doing things. For example, the attire, the time, the clocking time, everything, it's different from one another. So it is the way of doing things in the business. That is organizational culture. So it affects and influences people's actions, the workers, the employees, the customers. How are they going to treat Shoprite? The way customers treat Shoprite and the way customers behave to Checkers, it's not the same. When customers go to ShopRite. They know what to buy. They know when ShopRite closes. They know where to find something and how much it may cost. And also in Woolworths, they know where to find something. They know when Woolworths closes and when Woolworths opens and what products will they get on when they go to Woolworths. So that's the organizational culture, the way of doing things that affects the actions and the attitudes of people, employees and workers and customers and so on. That is organizational culture. So now, organizational culture, uh, it influences everyone who is part of it. It is based on three key issues: values, beliefs, purposes. E.g., you have your dress code, office decor, employee behavior. Those are part of organizational culture. The way employees behave in the workplace, office decor, how is the decoration in the offices, the dress code, uh, how do we like dress? Should we dress professional or just casual, or do we have a uniform? That is part of organizational culture. It influences the way people in the organization interact with each other and with stakeholders. It influences how the customers, the employees, the managers, everyone interacts in the organization. Now let's go and see the example of organizational culture. It is the personality of the business or the norms or the values and the expectations. It is the business dress code. It is the floor plan of the business. It is the working environment of the business. It is the respect for other employees' values, the way managers are addressed. For example, in other businesses, they don't want people with dreadlocks, but other businesses they may accept people with dread and so on, dreadlock. So that's how the people behave or treat each other's values or respect each other's values. If you have threads in other dreadlocks in other businesses, they may not want you or want to hire you. In other businesses, they might accept you. Maybe if you have curly hair, in other businesses, they don't want people with curly hair. In other businesses, they want people with curly hair. Maybe afro, maybe bald hair, or whatever. The way that you dress, your values, and so on. Now, let's go to organizational resources. What are organizational resources and what should we know from organizational resources? These are the assets that the business uses to promote goods or services and to achieve its goals. These are the assets that the business uses to promote goods or services or to achieve its goals. You have your physical resources. Under physical resources, you have your natural resources, for example, raw materials, you have your machinery, your vehicle, your buildings, your infrastructure, the assets from nature such as water, minerals, and wood. Those are the physical resources that the business might use to achieve its goals. Physical resources, building, vehicle, and so on. And you have your financial resources, that is capital, your own capital or cash or bank overdrafts, short and medium term loans, your money invested in the bank to acquire production of goods such as land and building or machinery. That is financial resources. The financial resources that a business might use in order to achieve its goals. And then you have human resources, the people, the employees, the contractors, and so on. And you have information and technological resources, the use of computers, computers to do research, production technology, and so on. That is information and technological resources. So we have four resources, organizational resources, that a business might use to achieve its goals. We said we have physical resources, financial resources, human resources, and information and technological resources. Please know those resources. They are likely to be tested in your examination. Now let's go to organizational structure or organizational chart or organogram. What is organogram? It is in every business must have an organized structure that show each person's task or the level of authority or responsibility. So in other words, organogram, it is a structure that shows each person's task or level of authority or responsibility. It is a structure that shows the flow of instruction and feedback in the business. It is a structure that shows the position of management, the department, and its employees. It shows who report to whom and which departments fall under which managers. So it is a structure of management. Who reports to whom? Your supervisors, you have your employees, you have your top manager, your financial manager, your IT manager, your HR manager. All of those people, they fall under what we call organizational structure. It shows the responsibility, it shows the level of authority, and it shows the person's task. And also it shows whom report to whom and which managers fall under which departments. Now, why is it important for the business to have organizational structure? Because it shows who report to whom and which department fall under which managers. If the business cannot have organizational structure or does not have an organogram, it means we don't know who report to whom. We don't know the person's task. We don't know each person's level of authority and responsibility in the business. Then the business can be a chaos. Also, it is important to have an organogram because it is a structure that shows the flow of instruction and feedback in the business. It is a structure that every business must have, every organized business must have. It shows each person's task, level of authority, and responsibility. Now let's go to the factors that influences organizational structure. It is the size of the company. How big is the company? For example, if we can take Samsung and ShopRite, or Samsung and just a spaza shop in your local area. Samsung, it's a big company, so the structure of management under Samsung, it will be a broad structure with different managers from different departments. You'll have your marketing manager, you'll have your operations manager, you have your finance manager, you have your production manager, and so on. But if you have your spaza shop from your local area, that is so small, the size of the company, that is very small. So it does not have to have many managers. We can have one manager that is responsible for all the duties or the roles in the company. So we can have one manager that is responsible for marketing, for human resource, for operations, and so on, all the other departments. Now, the other factor that can influence organizational structure, it is the technology. How much more technology is there in that business? How much do we use technology in that business? It is organizational resources. How much funds does the business have? How much people are there in the business, working for the business? For example, if you have 300 employees, therefore you have to have many managers managing those employees. But if you have 2 employees, there's no need to have many managers to manage those employees. Also, another factor that influence organizational structure, it is the strategic goals of the company. The goals of the company. What is it that the business wants to achieve? The goal of the company. Now, let's go to the types of organizational structures. Now you have your functional organizational structure. What is a functional organizational structure? Uh, it's where employees get instructions from more than one manager. It is a plan to be carried out that determines who will be giving instructions. This structure confuses employees as they report to more than one manager. What you need to know is that under functional organizational structure, there is more than one manager, and it determines the plan to be carried out and also who will be giving instruction. Also, it confuses employees as they report to more than one manager. Now, let's go to project organizational structure. What is project organizational structure? This is a structure that is around projects, teams. For example, you are given a project to build a bridge. So that team for a certain project, it is an organizational structure, the management structure, the management team for that only certain project. When the project is done, also the organizational structure will be terminated. The management structure will be terminated. It is a temporal structure because employees are drawn from different departments. Employees are then grouped together to form a project team which will carry out a particular project. And when that project is done, also the organizational structure will be terminated. So for example, as I said, if people are hired from different departments, they are told to form an organizational structure, a management team that will guide or manage people that will build a bridge. After that project of building a bridge, also the organizational structure will have to be terminated. Now let's go to Matrix. What is Matrix organizational structure? Matrix organizational structure is structured around projects, but employees, they stay in their departments. A project must be completed up to a certain point. The project is then passed on to the next team, which will carry out the next phase of the project. Now, let's make an example of people who are hired to build a mall. Now, these people, you'll have your quantity survey manager, whom you hired already as a quantity survey manager. You will outsource that person from a different company. He will come and work under this project of building a mall. But when his phase of quantity surveying is done, he will go back to his company and stay as a quantity survey manager. And then when you are done with that, you will then hire people who will come and do construction. You have your construction manager. That person will be outsourced as a construction manager. He will come carrying his position to this project. And when the project is done, he leaves with his position. He does not leave without his position. So when the project is done, he will go to his company as a construction manager that he is. Nothing will change. And now you want to hire people that will do plumbing. You'll hire a plumber. He will come and do his job. When he's done, he will go back and stay as a plumber. So these people, they do not leave when they don't leave without their position when the project is done. They go with their positions, and when you outsource them to come and work for this project, they came with their positions already. So here, it is the same as project organizational structure. But here now, the difference is that whenever the project is done, these people, they don't terminate the organizational structure. It stays as it was. And also now, yeah, when the project is done, it is passed to the next team. When one phase is done, it is then passed to a next team. Now let's go to a line organizational structure. What is a line organizational structure? Employees report to only one person, and only the director can give instructions to employees. This structure eliminates confusion among employees as they report to only one person. Now, line organizational structure is the same as functional organizational structure, but here now they report to only one person. But when it was functional organizational structure, they report to more than one manager. And also underline organizational structure, it eliminates confusion. But under uh, functional organizational structure, yeah, there is confusion as employees report to more than one manager. Now let's go to line and staff organizational structure. Now here the experts, they act as advisors to top and middle management. Advisors don't form part of the business as they merely give advice. Advisors don't have authority over the employees, which means they can't give any instructions to employees. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the uh, microenvironment components. We said the component number one, it's vision, mission, objectives, and goals. And component number two, it is organizational structure. And then component number three, it is organizational culture. It is, and then we are following, it is organizational structure. And then those are the components that we have. And then we will have 8 business functions and management and leadership on the next lesson. On the next lesson, we will do 8 business functions and management and leadership. That is also part of microenvironment. That is also part of the components of microenvironment. Now, I will give a task that you can do. And thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. Thank you.